Well, hello. Today is Saturday. I'm so used to weighing in on Saturdays that's on my mind. It's on my brain. Today is Friday, January 22nd. I know I'm getting this up a little later than I normally do. I had to bring my brother-in-law to the doctor's for a post-surgical visit. He had shoulder surgery yesterday to replace his rotator cuff. And my sister Mary had a doctor's appointment the exact same time in the opposite direction, so I told her that I would bring Don. So I just got back just now. I weighed myself at a different time than I normally weigh, and with different clothing on than I normally weigh. Not trying to make excuses because I fully own the gain that I had this week, but let's see how I did. Saw that coming. I didn't need a truck to run over me to know that that was coming. 2.8 gain for a total loss of 87.4, which disappoints me because I finally had got back to 90. My best loss since I've been on Weight Watchers has been 95.2, which is means I've gained 7.8 pounds of my best loss. I have always said that once I reached my goal, I was going to get within 10 pounds before I really got serious again, as far as not letting it get more than 10 pounds. And so I'm inching that way. In December, I had gained 9 pounds from my best loss. So I am heading in the right direction, but not this week. I was doing better last week, but that's part of the struggle with losing weight. It's like you go up and down. Most people, not all people, but some people, I should say. And I include myself in that group that I go up and down a lot. But this week's topic was hit the rewind button. And that's what I need to do. I need to hit the rewind button. And that's the beauty of Weight Watchers, is you can always hit that rewind button. You can always hit it. But they're very optimistic on their weekly this week, because they start off with hit the rewind button. Celebrating a win, whether large or small. Gaining 2.8 is a large gain, and that's not a large win. But it's not a defeating loss. It really isn't. I have gained more in a week, not to brag, because who wants to brag about something like that? But I fully own what I gained. I made a cake last Sunday for dinner. I usually don't cook on the weekends, but Jim's been working afternoons, and so I haven't cooked in a long time. So I thought, you know, it'd be nice and make a dinner. So we had a really nice roast dinner, and then what goes with a roast but a nice cake for dessert. And no, it started my downfall. It really did. I did track my food all week. I did pretty much stay in check with what I ate. I ate too many carbs this week. You have to include them in on your diet, but I know from my own body that I can't have as many carbs as I had this past week and try to lose weight. So I'm not beating myself up about my gain. I feel bad that I had a gain, I'm not going to lie, but I just know that this is going to be a constant up and down battle for me. But they said celebrating a win, whether large or small, before you move on, use these steps to figure out how to repeat the success. You can turn that around, which I'm going to this week, because celebrating a loss, or wait a minute, mourning a loss. There we go. Mourning a loss. No, wait a minute. That's not even right either. Mourning a gain. You're never going to mourn a loss. What was I thinking? Mourning a gain, whether large or small, before you move on. Use these steps to figure out how not to repeat this pattern. See, I changed it around a little bit. Number 1, pretend there's a video recording of everything you did on the day leading up to that loss. Not even a loss. To that weight gain. Okay. I should start this over. Hit the rewind button. Celebrating a win or contemplating a gain, whether large or small. Before you move on, use these steps to figure out how to either repeat the success or avoid the mistakes you made this week. I like that. That sounds better. Number 1, pretend there's a video recording of everything you did on the day leading up either to that great loss or that great gain. Mentally rewind the tape to see what actions you took before, what your environment was like, and what thoughts you had. Okay, if I'm going to rewind, the first action that I would say is don't make the cake. I go through phases. If you've been with me a while, you know. I started off with the Hostess cupcake craze. And then from that, I moved on to the Suzy Q craze. And then I moved on to just having brownies. And then from the brownies, I moved on to donuts. Oh, donuts. Donuts are still my downfall. I'll be yeah, they're still my downfall. But then from there, I moved on to cake for some reason. And I love my turtle cake, which everybody that watches me knows that's my favorite, all-time favorite cake, which is a chocolate cake with buttercream frosting that's frosted with fudge on top of it, and it's dripping with fudge and caramel. And it's delicious. So I always have, for my birthday, I always have it, and then I freeze it, and I'll eat frozen cake, which is bad. But my next favorite cake is a homemade cake, and that's what I did. And so if I have to mentally rewind the tape, that's what started me down the path of making poor choices. And what actions you took before, what your environment was like. My environment is, it's January in Michigan. The sun hardly ever comes out. You can't even say the sun will come out tomorrow, because it won't. It just doesn't in January. For some reason, it's the most gloomiest, depressing month. And it's just sad in Michigan. And I don't mean to cast doubt on, or, like excursions to Michigan, but it's just really gloomy in January. And usually I can get out and go window shopping, or just like walk through the stores and go out to eat at a restaurant, go to the show, get out and do something. Go for a walk sometimes, not always, but sometimes in January. But with COVID, I'm trapped in the house. I'm just trapped, and that's how I feel. I feel trapped, and I feel so bad for people that are housebound, that can never get out of the house. At least I can get out now, even once in a while, but not enough. I do take vitamin D supplements because, like I said, no sun in Michigan in January. And it's just, I actually look forward to bringing my brother-in-law to the doctor's today and sitting in a doctor's office, because at least it was a different environment. It was just different. So I know that, and my house is really, I have a lot of goodies in my house that don't tempt me. I am not a store-bought cookie fan. I really am not. And those cookies I didn't have a cookie all week, even that. I have 3 different kinds of cookies because Jim loves cookies. I have a basket full of candy, which I'll tell you, I did hit the candy basket, which usually I don't, but I did, which is why I gained 2.8 pounds. And, but I have a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff, so my environment is set up for me to do well. It really is. It's just I have to choose to do well. And what were the thoughts you had? Like I said, I was feeling not depressed, because that's different. Depression and sadness and moodiness and feeling low on certain days are so much different than depression. Depression is something that nobody should take lightly, and should really extend a helping hand to people that suffer from depression, because that's an illness. Depression is definitely an illness, and I find no shame in anybody that takes medication for it. I feel bad for people that are afraid to take medication for it. They think the stigma it'll bring upon them for taking it. And I'm thinking, I have problems in my family with with my liver, so I have to take medications to keep my levels on my liver, equal, so that I don't have problems. And it's a medication that I don't like taking every day, but you know what? It helps me from having a liver problem, so yeah, I'm gonna take it. So trying to think of what it is that they say I have. It's like I can have a bout of gout. Oh, that rhymes. Bout of gout. If I didn't take my medications, I would have some gout problems. And that's not so much from the rich foods I'm eating, because I'm not eating a lot of rich foods anymore. But I think I've done damage over my life. And then the family history of it doesn't help either. Okay, number 2, based on what you watched, pinpoint what led to your success or your failure that you can repeat or avoid next time. With that in mind, fast forward the tape. Are you able to repeat the win or are you going to stop having the loss? I'm kind of ad-libbing here a little bit, you can tell. But no more cake. I'm not making any more cake. I don't have any more cake in the house. It's gone. It's just completely gone. And even the piece I put in the freezer, because there was one piece left that was in the freezer, I took it out of the freezer and threw it away, which was hard. It was really hard for me because it just felt so wasteful. I spent my whole life growing up like, you have to eat that because there's starving people around the world. But then I'm thinking, I'm not doing them any favors by me eating it instead of them. I'm not going to be able to get it to them. So it's like I can do donations, monetary donations to charities to help them. Because me eating that extra piece of cake is not helping them in the least little bit. It really isn't. So at least I've come to that realization. Okay, then they tell you this, which I just told you. And then these are some behaviors that you can try. Keep your kitchen clean and organized. My kitchen is pretty much clean for the most part every day. And I am very organized. I do give myself credit for that. In my pantry, I have all my healthy foods and snacks in the front. So if I really want to get to something that I might like that Jim eats, I have to get past the healthy stuff. So it's a conscious effort. When I open up my refrigerator, the first thing you see are all my bins with my fruits and vegetables. I don't really have anything in the refrigerator that's fattening, now that I think about it. Number 2 is make time after breakfast on a Friday. Well, I guess what they're telling us to do that on a Friday is to prepare yourself for the weekends. Weekends are my downfall. I am retired, so it's like any other day of the week, but I just have the mentality it's the weekend and I can do what I want. And so I think if you make time after breakfast on Fridays to plan out your rest of your day on Friday and what you're going to do on Saturday and Sunday, it'll really help you. Because let's face it, just about everybody I know thinks that Monday is the start of the new week and that's the day of the start of a new diet, a new plan to lose weight. So you're getting yourself set up for that. Also, they want you to feel energized. After having a 2.8 gain, I'm so energized to get back on track because I don't want to have that another gain again next week, because then I'm going to get right back over my 10-pound minimum gain that I've set for myself, and I don't want to do that. Use the What's in My Fridge feature on the WW app to find recipes. I don't like their recipes. I'll be honest with you. They always have some sort of ingredient that you don't really have around your house or you don't use, and I would prefer to watch people that take food that I like and then fix it up so it's Weight Watcher friendly. And I get better results with watching Cook With Me videos than doing the apps on Weight Watchers. Make a list of the meals based on the ingredients in your kitchen. I pretty much do that anyhow. I have, like I said, I have all the staples. I have the fruits and the vegetables to start off with a meal. I have all kinds of meats in my freezer as far as pork chops or hamburgers or my chicken sausages, which I like, which is not a hot dog. Jim always, my husband, because I will not eat a hot dog. I don't like a hot dog, but I'll eat a sausage, which is basically the same thing, but it's just, I have it in my mind, I guess. I haven't had a hot dog since I was 18 years old, and I'm 70, so I haven't had a hot dog in a long time. And then I always have a good base to start with. Tell yourself, I'm ready to get started, because I am. Every day I wake up, I'm ready to get started. Now, maybe by the end of the day, I didn't have a really good start by getting ready to get started, but that doesn't mean that the next day I can't start again. And I am going to start again today. I might have to start again tomorrow, but you know what? Every day I start again, at least reminds me that I'm not a failure, that I'm at least trying. Anybody can just start and then just quit. There's no quitting in me. I stumble a lot lately, but I'll get out of there. I'll get out of that mood. I know I will. Also, they tell you to cook and portion food in containers. That's what I do now, because with Jim working afternoons and he's not really following a Weight Watcher plan, I can sort of cook somewhat, but I have to have like his staples, which are potatoes and bread and butter and things like that. I can avoid eating that stuff, but he'll eat the base. He'll let me cook the meat. Not let me. He has no choice. He either eats it or he doesn't. Like your mother, take it or leave it. Those are your two choices when we were growing up. But he doesn't have a problem with how I cook the food itself, as long as he's got his potatoes and he's got his bread and butter. He's pretty much fine with that. And so that's what I do. And then I freeze my portions and make like little TV dinners, if you want to call them that, and put them in the freezer and label them. And then I just pop them out when I want to have them. So if I make like a chili recipe, I'm the only one that's going to eat the chili. Jim won't eat the chili because he likes venison chili. I don't like venison. I know that I could probably make it with that protein, but I don't like venison. So I have a freezer full of chili. That's what I do. They tell us to dive a little deeper. Our thoughts, feelings, environment, and other actions impact what we do, which is so true. We have to have the right mindset. We have to set ourselves up for success. Once you pinpoint how these lead to your successes, you can identify what you can repeat moving forward and how to bring it to a fresh start. That's my plan this week. Just another fresh start. Today's Friday. I eat very light on Fridays, so I'm back on track again. Once again, the recipe is for halibut braised with tomatoes, capers, and olives. I've never had a caper, and the picture really doesn't do it justice, I guess. It just kind of looks like a hot mess to me. But they tell you that it's with halibut. I've never had halibut. I say for the halibut a lot. You know, like we should just do that for the halibut. When we were growing up, we couldn't swear, so we found out that halibut sounded like the hell with it. So we'd always say that. My mother couldn't correct us for that. And then my Aunt Marge used to always say shite instead of shit. So we always said, oh, shite, for the halibut, why don't we do this? And then my mother kind of got wise to that, kind of nipped that in the bud. But they said if you're not a fan of halibut, you can use cod, which I do like cod. But like I said, I've never had capers. But everything else in the recipe I do like. But I probably won't ever make this. So if you're a fish lover, you might like this recipe. And I'll include that at the end. Okay, 2.8 gain. Wah, wah, wah. Not a good start to the 10-pound loss for January. Not even a good start. It was like going backwards the wrong way. For the month so far, I have lost, I think it was 2 pounds for the month of my 10 pounds that I was hoping. But it's 2 pounds. Better than a gain. 87.4 is my total loss. I got to get back in those 90s again. So stick with me. I'll do better. I promise. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do a daily vlog. I do a grocery haul when I do get to the store once a week, I hope. Try at least. I don't really do too many cook with me's, but I've done a few in the past. If you look at my video list, my playlist, you can find some that I've done. And I do a tag every Tuesday with my son Jimmy. Sometimes it comes up on Wednesday. But we have fun on my channel. So please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. Always, always, always believe in yourself. You believe in yourself whether you're struggling, whether you're successful, whether you're failing. Sometimes we need to believe in ourselves a little bit more when we're failing. 2.8 gain is kind of like a failure this week. But I still believe in myself, and I believe I'm going to do it. Not only do I believe I'm going to do it, I know I'm going to do it. It might take me a while, but I know I'm going to do it. So thanks for watching. Always, always, always be safe.